Hello and welcome to Blender to Dota. This is the next video in the series, and in the last video we were just loading up a character from Dota. We were loading up Dragon Knight, and here you can see him. And I'll show you something new here on the bottom corner here. I've added a plugin to Blender that shows which keys I'm clicking, so that should hopefully help people if I don't say what I'm actually doing here. So anyways, what I've done is on this layer I have Dragon Knight, and then what I've done is I've added all of his accessories on different layers. So I'm just holding Shift to select those layers, and I was thinking for this next video we would talk about creating a concept artwork. And concept is just something you do on 2D, like just a regular drawing, and then it's kind of your blueprint for your 3D work. So we could go into a program like I think I have here I've got GIMP here. We could open up GIMP, or if you're rich and you own Photoshop, you could load up Photoshop. Um, I told you I would do everything in free programs, so you could start you could start painting in GIMP here, and that's possible. That's a good place to start. You could just grab your brush here and say, okay, let's see, I want to make a sword for Dragon Knight, and I think we will work on a sword because that's kind of a good place to start. It's pretty easy to rig once you get to the rigging part. So I could go into GIMP here and start saying, okay, I want my sword to look like whatever. Uh, yeah, but that's one option. I'm gonna try to set this up in Blender because you can actually do painting in Blender as well. So I'm gonna go down to the layer. This is the sword layer here. This is the layer I have the sword on. You can have it on whatever layer you want. I have it on that one there. I can go one to go into front mode to the front mode here. Right below the sword layer, I'm going to do my, I just drop down to the layer below the sword layer. I'm going to hit 7 to go into top mode, and Shift A to add a new plane. And I'm going to do my painting on this plane here. So I'm going to hit Tab to go into edit mode, and actually it doesn't need to be in Tab. I'm just going to scale this up a bit. So I'm going to come over here, and you can see the scale here of this object. It's 111. I'm going to go to 100, I think. Scale that right up so I can see what I'm doing. So there it's scaled up. And what I want to do, there is no, if I go into, like this is textured, there's no image attached to this object here. So I'm going to hit Tab and A to select everything here. And then I'm going to go over here and create a new image. And just the standard settings, like I'm not going to change anything. That's a good resolution to paint at, 1024 by 1024. I'm going to hit OK, and it actually looks like it mapped right to the object here. If it doesn't, you can just hit U and then unwrap, or you can go project from view bounds, and it'll show that. So anyways, there is, now we've got an image attached to this image plane. And the last thing I'm going to do is just hit, have everything selected. I'm going to hit 3 to go into the side. That's like looking at things on the side. And I'm just going to hit R, and then I'm going to hold down Control, and I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. So another thing you could do if you, well, let's see. There's a couple of things that have to be set, like this has to be in increments here, and this can't be on for that to work. But if you rotate something, if you press R and you hold Control, you can rotate it in 5-degree increments. So If you have trouble with that, let me know in the comments or something. That's pretty straightforward. So now I hit 1, I'm in front view here, and I'm gonna hit tab to go into object mode, and then I'm gonna shift select. So now you can see there's the original sword, and then I'm gonna actually start painting on this surface here to get my new concept. So I'm gonna go, instead of object mode, I'm gonna go into texture paint mode, and here I've got brushes. Like I can paint right on here. You can see you can select your color here, whatever color you want. You can select it from here. Another thing that's really nice is you can shift, or sorry, not shift. You can right mouse on the this is just a button on my Wacom pen. It's not actually a Wacom, it's a Hanvon, but it's on my pen tablet. I can just select the color right off of here, which is really nice. So one thing that I do in this brush palette here is I change the stroke a bit, I change the curve a bit. I just select this preset here and it gives me a nice hard edge when I'm drawing. So there's tons of settings on this thing. Like you can do a lot of stuff. One thing you can't do in Blender is you can't do layers. So that's something to be aware of. That might be where something like GIMP or Photoshop would come in a little bit handier, because you can actually do some layers and stuff. So I'm just going to save out this image here, and I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm in Dragon Knight here. I'll just save it as concept, sword concept, and I'll save it as a TGA. I don't know why, but I just like TGA. Save that image, and yeah. So now the hard part. This is really difficult. You got to come up with a good idea, because if it's a really good concept, it's gonna influence the whole product. Like, you're gonna go to all this work anyways, so having a good idea at the beginning is kind of critical. So um, one thing I can show you here is I'll maybe show it in the next video. Is like I can just paint like oh, a good thing to know here is F. F can change the size of the brush. This is actually really nice. Um, like if you're painting, it's really easy to change the brush size in Blender. Right? It's easier than any 2D program that I know of. Another thing too is, how in some programs like 2D you're zooming in. This actually, like if you want to do detail, this is great, because you just Alt Control, you can zoom right in and get like tiny little detail, because the brush changes size with the level of scaling that you're at, right? So yeah, it's pretty handy little tool. This looks like nothing here right now. I'm just going to select that color there. See, you don't have the layers, but you have a lot of brush control, which is nice. So anyways, I think that's it for this tutorial. It was just to introduce you to the painting in Blender, and in the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up a mirrored painting, so that you can, like, if you look at this sword here, it's pretty much the same on both sides. So I'm going to show you how to set that up in a painting, so that you're basically not painting everything twice. You can just paint it once. So anyways, this was a short tutorial. Hopefully that you were able to understand how to set up a drawing in or painting in Blender, and then we'll do some more in the next tutorial. So I'll talk to you soon.